Hello, my sacred ones. I'm Savina Leo, and this is another episode of the Sacred Sutra podcast where I break down spiritual concepts so you can understand and integrate them into your everyday life. In today's episode, I wanted to break down one of the most important things that you can do as a spiritually awakened person, and that is shadow work. Being an awakened person and having a level of awareness means that you are ready to self-reflect and reflect on who you are now and where that person came from. And shadow work helps us dive deep into who we are and having an awareness of the person that we want to be in the future. But in order to get there, we need to reflect on who we are. And being a whole, complete spiritual being means you have to be aware of your light and your dark. You have to almost integrate two parts of you, two sides of you, into making you a fully aware person. You see, sometimes in the spiritual community, we like to overindulge in the light and positivity of things. But if you don't integrate or balance both sides of you, because we all have a light and dark to us, we do live on earth, we are duality beings, and in order to be a fully formed spiritual person, we have to understand both sides of who we are and not only live in one. So you don't only live in the darkness or in the light, you almost learn to live in the grayness of having a human experience. And being human means that you did come here to work on the shadow aspects of yourself while integrating the light of your soul. And on the other side of shadow work is the life that you have always dreamed of. It's the life that you really, really want to, but because you haven't integrated all of you, you don't really feel like you can achieve that or that you will get there. But when you start to do in-depth shadow work, you realize the things that have been blocking you, that have been keeping you back, the limiting beliefs that have been keeping you back from living the life that you really want to live. So first, what is shadow work? Shadow work was popularized by the psychiatrist Carl Jung, and it's about the unconscious parts of your personality, the disowned parts of your personality. The parts of your personality you are ashamed of, you have disowned, and that you don't acknowledge, but it is a part of who you are and it shows up behind the scenes daily. And what happened is that in your childhood, or even things that you have brought in from your past lives, parts of you were not acknowledged as a child, and as an adult, that subconscious programming makes you not accept parts of who you are. For example, let's say as a child you were told not to speak, that children are only seen, not heard. You were told that your voice wasn't important, and as an adult, you have a business and it's super difficult for you to show up and have a voice in your business. And it's because in your childhood, you were programmed to not have a voice. So in adulthood, social situations, business situations are really difficult for you because you were told that having a voice was not for you. So the first step in dealing with shadow is identifying the parts of you that you have been suppressing, the parts of you that are being triggered, or the parts of you that are projecting onto other people. In adulthood, it may show up as anger, abandonment, anxiety, apathy, the need for validation, guilt, shame, fear, pride. It shows up in so many ways as an adult. And if we don't address it, then our lives may feel stuck, and reaching that new level in our life feels sort of impossible. It's your job as an adult to find out what background programs have been running your life so far. It's your responsibility to work on those things and to improve your life. Your parents may have caused a lot of these pains, but it's your job as an adult to figure it out and fix it yourself. It's not the job of a partner or money or accomplishments or anything else that will ever fix the background programs that have been running your life. It's your job to do that yourself. And with the help of a therapist or a coach or someone like me that will really pinpoint these programs and help you integrate it into the version of you that really lives your best life. Here's what you can do if you don't have access to any of those things. So once you've identified a pain point or something that triggers you, what you could do is you can ask that part of yourself to have a conversation. Almost see it as a separate part of you, and you sit and you have a conversation and you ask, why are you here? What are you trying to protect me from? Where did you come from? For example, where in my childhood did you come from? What feelings comes up for me when you appear? Is it fear? Is it shame? Is it guilt? Is it anger? And one of my favorite questions is, what do you need? Does that part of you need unconditional love, unconditional support, validation? What does it need? You're not here to judge the aspects of you that come up. You're here to have compassion for it. You're here to hold space for those parts of yourself. You are there to just acknowledge that your needs were probably not met in a specific time of your life. Now, it doesn't always have to be childhood. It could be a traumatic relationship that happened to you later on in your life. But just let whatever comes up, let that conversation flow. And if nothing comes up for you, that is okay also. You also don't want to judge yourself when you go blank and nothing comes up. You can always start this process all over again when you're triggered. Maybe something new will come up a second time or a third time. You're just holding compassion for yourself. And what this present version of you could do is give whatever that older version of yourself needs. You're going to meet the needs of that older version of yourself and integrate their pain into compassion and love. When you truly meet all your needs, you're going to realize that you are unstoppable, that you can accomplish anything in life. And it's not that you don't need other people, but anything that is lacking from another person, you don't take that personally. Your life, your happiness, your dreams, your goals, it's all in your hands. And the people in our past did the best that they could do with what they had at the time. And we tend to want the other person to change, and we want them to recognize where they have wronged you. But until we take responsibility for our feelings, our actions, then nothing will really change. If you would like to go in depth into shadow work and into living your best life, feel free to DM me on Instagram and see if I have a spot open for you. My Instagram is I am Savina Leo. Our lives could feel difficult or stuck if we don't confront the shadows, and the universe does give us plenty of opportunities to move through the feelings and to move through the pain. So we don't want to waste these opportunities by blaming others or by doing nothing at all. Because at the end of the day, self-reflection leads to self-actualization, which is the goal of any conscious being. Just remember that shadow work is intense work, it is emotionally draining, and it does take a lot out of you. Just be kind and compassionate and loving towards yourself and keep doing the work. Until next time, guys.